How is it possible for humanity to reach a higher level of consciousness? First of all, the truth is that each one of us is a creative spirit, housed temporarily within a human body. Because consciousness is not biologically dependent, we all have free will. By simply changing what we believe is possible, we can rediscover our powerful self and combine with others of like mind to form groups that can change our own lives and the world as well. How does this work? In order to explain, we have to introduce the concept of synergy. The term synergy comes from the ancient Greek word synergos, which means working together. A synergy forms when people with complementary skills cooperate with each other. Here is the concept illustrated graphically. Because every human being is a creative spiritual being, temporarily associated with a physical body, all persons on this planet have an association with what might be called a higher power. When two or more people get together, a third force is also present, the creative energy that surrounds all life and all physical form. This energy is a product of consciousness. Even though almost all of us cannot see it, we can feel it. Professor Harold Saxton Burr of Yale University in the United States, after 40 years of painstaking research, showed that all living organisms do indeed have an energy field, which he called an L field, and which he learned to measure and analyze with a special electronic instrument he built himself. The most revolutionary and transcendental discovery Burr made during his research with L fields was that the field exists by itself before any trace can be seen of the physical formation to which it corresponds. It cannot, therefore, be an emanation from the physical structure. Burr's conclusion was, inevitably, that the L field is the organizing principle behind the physical structure, or the program that organizes the atoms and molecules into cells and organs, and conditions them to certain forms and functions. The American philosopher Arthur Young modeled consciousness on the geometric figure called the torus. Energy flows around and through it. Think of a donut and you have the idea. It's basically a flattened sphere with a tube running through the middle of it. Here is a diagram of a torus. Energy flows into, out of, and around the figure, forming a vortex in the middle and creating a toroidal field of energy. Even so-called inanimate objects have this field of energy. Here's a picture of the Sombrero Galaxy. You can see the toroidal field of force that surrounds it. It looks like a donut-shaped object, such as an O-ring. This life force is present in all things. Here is a diagram of the toroidal field around the Earth. This is a picture of the Van Allen radiation belts, a torus of energetic charged particles, plasma, which is held in place by the Earth's magnetic field. Each of us is surrounded by our own living field of subtle energy, which contains all of our thoughts and beliefs about life and about ourselves. This energy also sustains our physical bodies and keeps our cells growing and reproducing. When two or more people meet, their life force is naturally attracted to each other. That is because the basic nature of this subtle energy is benign and attractive. Life force is essentially composed of liquid love, and love inherently is cooperative. As a group of people becomes more harmonious, the life force of all present comes together to form a higher consciousness. This can happen in a group, but it can also happen for the entire human race. No one knows how synergy forms within a group, but if you have ever been in a band or a business team or a relationship that hit it off, you know what we're talking about. You can feel a powerful and inspiring creative force, the higher mind, that uplifts everyone in the group and anyone associated with the group. This creative force comes from the power of consciousness itself, and that consciousness is native to every human being on the planet. Does this sound like a pipe dream? Until very recently, it has been almost impossible, because the potentials were not right. The reason why human organizations and groups have failed in the past is simple. Napoleon Hill told us over 80 years ago that a group will remain available as long as the friendly and harmonious alliance between the individual minds exists. It will disintegrate, and all evidence of its former existence will disappear the moment the friendly alliance is broken. The key words are harmony and alliance. The only reason human groups degenerate into egotistic competition and strife is our belief systems, not human nature or natural law. Simply put, we believe that it is human nature to fight amongst ourselves, that struggle is inevitable, and that the universe is cold and uncaring and really doesn't give a damn about us. And so we create our reality in precisely this way. These beliefs are childish and adolescent, but they are very powerful. For 5,000 years we have reinforced them. The rise and fall of human civilizations and groups is not a natural law, but merely an established vibration that we have all unknowingly resonated to, generation after generation, for thousands of years. We all know how hard it is to break a bad habit. Well, we have a 5,000-year-old habit. But now, with 7 billion of us present on the planet, we have the numbers and the intention to override the old belief systems of fighting, struggle, and war, and establish a new one. What is a belief? A belief is essentially information. A belief is just a data point in the form of a thought that we have consciously decided to place in our personal database. I'm no good with money. Relationships are hard for me. There's always one person in a group who will destroy it, etc. Information systems are programmable, just like computers, and can be changed when they are no longer serving us. And it's about time we did. What you believe is what you have programmed into your own mind. We have been taught, wrongly, that a human being is just a sponge for incoming electromagnetic impulses. We have been taught that it is almost impossible to change our own mental programming because it supposedly exists in a part of the mind that is inaccessible to us, the subconscious mind. I would like to point out that this is itself just a limiting belief. There is truly no subconscious mind or ego or any of the artificial divisions of the psyche that have come to be accepted over the past century. Cognitive scientists have never even agreed on the definition of mind. No one has ever been able to locate the mind or describe precisely what it is. Yet we accept that we have egos and subconscious minds and ids and use them as crutches to describe why we are not the people we should be. There is in fact no physical component to the ego, the id, the subconscious, etc. They are merely heuristic, meaning that they are terms that aid us in trying to understand human behavior. In reality, however, these terms have combined to form an information system that has often had the unfortunate effect of making us victims of ourselves. If you believe that your subconscious mind controls you, then you are imprisoning yourself within your own psyche. This is very good for those who want to control you, but it is not so good if you want to live your life as a sovereign. Accepting that your own subconscious mind can control you makes you like the dog and the invisible fence. You meekly and mindlessly accept that you are a victim of your own mental programming. Enough already! It is time for every human being on planet Earth to reject these self-limiting and adolescent ideas that turn us all into victims and perpetuate the status quo. In case you hadn't noticed, we have allowed our societies to be run by selfish, childish people who have no awareness of self. It is time for every one of us to take conscious control of our lives and create a powerful, positive future for ourselves and for the planet. But how should we go about doing this?